Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, you're going to meet Sanjay Sabnani. He is the author of this new book. It's called ActualizationOS. It's about debugging the human architecture. His journey just ahead.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
So if you go to Amazon Books right now and put in the expression self-help, you are going to find literally millions and millions of titles. And many of us have read dozens of self-help books, and they get you partway there, but they don't take you home. That's why I have my next guest on the show, Sanjay Sabnani. He's the author of ActualizationOS. Thanks for coming on the show. And you were telling me before the show that you went through a dark period, and some of the things that you used to get out of that, you put in the book.
Yeah, I would say the book represents, so in 2015, my marriage ended, and the business that I had built up that I was proud of failed at the same time, right? So literally my legs were taken out from under me. I was in a very dark place, and through grace, through some good fortune, I was able to take the meditation. That meditation helped to calm me down, calm my system down, and opened up a space from where a lot of what I share in the book came from.
All right, we're going to put your book cover on the screen. I love the design. Tell us about how you came up with the name and the design.
Okay. So, interestingly, what I wanted to do was perfect the software of human architecture, right? I wanted it to be sequential and applicable to any person. I used to get frustrated reading self-help books. For example, I'm unable to visualize in my mind. So as soon as a book said visualize, it didn't work for me anymore.
Yes.
Right? And in many ways, I think a lot of the books that are out there are not quite complete. They seem to be missing something. And, being a little bit of a nerd, I wanted to capture every nuance and every detail. So I started out with a piece of software called ActualizationOS, and then I wrote the book based upon that architecture, right? So it's sort of a reverse process. But in that crisis that I went through, I realized things about myself, because there's nothing like collapse.
Yes.
To have you look inside, look back at your life, what you did right, what you might have done wrong. And those discoveries are really what fueled the system and the book.
Yes, and so many self-help books, to me, it feels like unicorns and rainbows and a lot of flowery words that don't mean anything to anyone. What is it about your book that really is a step-by-step guide to getting to where you're meant to be?
I think it's a rediscovery in a way, right? While I can say I'm the author of the book, I think the system in it is an ancient system. All of us are used to watching movies like Harry Potter or any of the Kung Fu movies, and there's always the person who has a chaotic life, they're in crisis, and they go to a wise teacher, mage, wizard, and really, we're all waiting as the audience for them to learn the spell or learn magic or the special martial arts. And that's not what happens. What the teacher does is teach this person how to be humble, how to look at their emotional responses, calm themselves, how to build focus, how to build attention, and then mastery effortlessly flows. What's happened in modern times is we've lost that foundation of stillness, of self-regulation, the ability to control our attention, and we go straight to techniques, right? We're like, I'm gonna learn how to manifest, and I'm gonna start right here. But if your own internal state is dysregulated or screwed up, the techniques in these books, while they're powerful, they're not gonna work on you. So I begin at the beginning, which is where you are.
Talk more about the power of meditation.
So, meditation is interesting. In the East, The Eastern techniques have been referred to as meditation. In the West, in Christianity, especially when you see pictures of the saints or you hear about the mystics, over there it's referred to as contemplation. But essentially, it's this ability to sit in silence, right? And silence is more than just external silence. It's the silence of thoughts, right? The mind is always chattering. So how can you get to a space where you can actually have it relax a little, right? If you had a muscle that was clenched up all the time, you know that it would cramp, it would not grow.
Yes.
That's what happens to our attention. It's always contracted. It's always focused on something and jumping from one to another. So to me, creating that space, creating that foundation is what meditation allows for.
Okay, millions of Americans wake up at 2 in the morning and start worrying about a problem that may or may not come to pass. They lose sleep and they wake up and they're just done because they didn't get the, the renewal of the toxins that are in the brain. If you wake up at 2 in the morning worried about a problem that's real or imagined, how do you get yourself to go back to sleep?
So, it's interesting. If you make the mind do something it doesn't want to, it puts you to sleep, right? So I tell people that are insomniacs, find a meditation technique, try to push yourself to do it at 2 a.m. You will knock yourself out. You will go to sleep because that's how the mind works. It's keeping you awake because that's more entertainment for it, right? It wants to feel useful. So it runs you through worries and scenarios that are really not relevant at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Right? But if you try, and I suggest to anyone tonight who's an insomniac, try to count to 500 in twos. So 2, 4, 6, 8. At some point you get bored, go back to the beginning. If you force yourself to do this, you'll fall asleep pretty soon.
Okay, your book's been out for how long now?
It came out on July 18th, so just a few weeks.
Okay, for the people who have read the book so far, what kind of feedback are you getting?
I've received good feedback, right? What's happened is some people find the middle of the book to be a little technical because, again, the architecture is based on software. But the cheat code for that is if you go to the website causalwisdom.com, right, which is the book's website, there's an AI coach that you can talk to that's fully trained on the book. So you could go in and say, hey, I'm frustrated. The way my boss just talked to me in that meeting has got me dysregulated, and I want to talk to him in my review about getting a promotion.
Yes.
Just chat with it like you chat with your friendly AI, which all of us are doing more and more now.
Yeah.
And you'll find that it responds to you in a way that both honors you where you're at and teaches you the system of the book.
Outstanding. We have about 2 minutes left, so look into the camera on the left and talk to that person who probably needs to pick up a copy of your book.
What I can say is that in my personal journey, I've learned that we all suffer, right? We may not share it openly. We may hold up a happy exterior, but at some point, that sadness that every human goes through really should be used to make us look at ourselves. I spent my whole life putting my attention on the outside world, how to fix it, how to be a great dad, a good husband, a good business person, a provider. But I really didn't turn that care and attention back to myself. And ActualizationOS is the training manual on how you can regain that faculty. And I think good things happen from it.
Outstanding. Thank you so much for sharing your wisdom with us. We're going to end with his website, which again is sanjaysabnani.com. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thanks.
You
Thank
bet.
you for having me.
That's it for now. We'll see you next time.